Good morning, I should say good afternoon. My name is Ottavio and I'm the VP Global Sales for Pico Security. I'm very glad and excited to be here today with DAAT, introducing this new service and explain a little bit to you what we do and how we do it, but also what will be the incredible benefit for you as a customer to embrace such a service. I've been in cybersecurity for about 20 years, working on major corporation and very innovative startups. And I can say without any doubt that nowadays your major issue, your major concern probably resides on managing the two major aspects. One is the complexity of the technology that you're using, multiple layers of technology, different product, different prevention stack, I will call it. And on the other hand, the huge amount of threats that you have to deal with. A lot of alerts, a lot of unknown that you had to somehow decode. And the third is the lack of resources, is the unfortunately, the lack of resources, which sometimes is also lack of skills. There's about 2 to 3 million resources globally which are required to be hired in the cybersecurity space as a whole. And so this is creating a big bottleneck and a big, I call it a monster, where basically you have companies that are trying to be protected, and on the other hand, they have to deal with the huge avalanche of data and an issue, and this is definitely not simple. I give you some statistics which might help you to better understand what I just said. So usually after an exploit is out in the market, or actually a vulnerability is out in the market, in 10 days, that will be exploited at length. And a threat will be in the field. And companies' problem is the patching cycle, where sometimes it takes even 9 to 12 months before a vulnerability can be definitely patched at the either system, operating system level or application level. Well, this is one of the reasons why everybody is buying an avalanche of security controls, IPS systems, firewalls, proxies, and endpoint protection, blacklist, whitelist, I can probably go on, web gateway, email protection. Well, all this technology are supposed to protect us until the vulnerability is being somehow patched. Well, the problem is that this requires huge human intervention, and the major issue stays within how this technology is actually optimized, is actually configured, and all this is creating, as I said before, a major issue. Not mention the alerts, basically understanding if that is a real threat or is actually noise. That's another big issue. So what we did, we built an automated service which allow, in this case, DAAT, which are teaming up with us, to provide you with a top class technology, but as a service that will allow you to validate your security controls, your security estate as a whole, against about 10,000 different threat samples, categorized between malware, malicious code, vulnerability exploits, and advanced threat like APTs and you name it. Well, after you start validating those threats in a production environment, 24/7, without impacting any of your assets. So let's keep this in mind. We're not going to do any penetration testing. We're not going to touch any of your asset. We will run those threats and we will validate and actually assess and measure your security infrastructure against those threats. We will come up with a scoring. We will tell you if your infrastructure is able to prevent that SQL injection or the remote code execution or a threat exfiltration or data exfiltration technique. And we will, on top of that, provide you remediation capability, which will say that you're going to be able to, on top of identifying that threat is actually creating a problem, how to fix that threat. We will give you the exact name and the exact mitigation procedure that you need to apply to fix that. Well, this obviously is a service, so this is obviously going to be managed completely by Circle DAAT. On top of this, we also recently launched our detection analytic module. This is a state-of-the-art technology which will integrate your SIEM. It can either be Splunk or Curator or ArcSight or Elastic, and allow to validate against the threat that we're going to simulate on your environment against the ability of the SIEM to detect and create logs. So one of the major issues again is the number of alerts, but actually resides with the log itself. Well, that's something that now can be easily solved with the usage of Circle DAAT service. Well, this is a really nutshell what we do, but I want to add something else, which is, I believe, extremely important. More and more companies are moving away from managing their own cybersecurity infrastructure their own and delegate that to a third-party vendor that not just is dedicated to that specific task, but actually is providing results on a 24/7. Look, this is a no-brainer. You know, the bad guys are behind, and you know, they can hammer your system anytime. Some other data point which are important, you know, usually I'm reading because I can't never remember the data point, is 280 days on average that it takes to detect and contain an attack. Well, this is almost a year. So if we don't act in a smart way, if we don't stop, I call it play that magic role, where you will have many vendors that will come to you saying, you use my technology, I will stop everything. That's not really the case. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here discussing it. Okay, this is, you know, we urge as a community to use a pragmatic approach to the problem. And, you know, Picus with Circle DAAT actually is going to offer you this pragmatic approach, which is, you know, don't trust. Don't make your judgment on assumption. Try, verify that this is actually happening. You have an infrastructure, test that infrastructure in a production network 24/7 and validate your security controls. Breach and attack simulation will become a commodity in the next 24 months. Will be a tool that everybody will use, just like everybody is using pen test activity or vulnerability management nowadays. And why? Because it's the only way that can really allow you to understand where you are and how safe you are, which is critically important. Well, thank you very much for your time today. I wish I could be there, but next time, and you know, if COVID allows us, I will be more than happy to do so. Thank you again.